All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Legend of the Galactic Heroes, episode 61. Yang has been arrested.
Again!
Yep. Frederica is getting the band back together in order to save him, but the situation is complicated.
Yeah, we've got things with the Mercats and company getting a whole bunch more ships, which is leading to escalations in the Alliance space with Lennenkampf and Oberstein and others trying to adjust accordingly so that things come out on top for their respective party.
Right.
However, things are very much looking like Imperial fleet deployment is on the horizon.
Yeah. And we also got a car chase that resulted in an explosion that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, some kind of flash of light. Doesn't necessarily have to be an explosion.
That is true, yeah. So, I'm very curious to see what that is.
Yeah. We've got Shunkoff and Attenborough having a little bit of seditious talk over dinner.
And talk of children. Oh, my.
Apparently, the girl that Julian was making eyes at is Shunkoff's daughter,
which
estranged and lost to just
lost to time and space.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yep.
Father-in-law Shunkoff. That would be hilarious.
It would. It would indeed.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Yang's free.
Yep.
Yang is free.
Okay. Just like that. And,
Rebello is captured.
Rebello's captured. Shunkoff's on the warpath. Like...
Rosenritters are providing all the support that they need. Lennenkampf has isolated the Imperial interest that they have there, which means that until they're ready to assault those fortresses, they might have free reign of pretty much everything as long as the Alliance military doesn't mobilize in any strong, serious way.
Yeah, and the fact that the conversation with the demands and everything was leaked to the Empire... That's huge because Lennenkampf, of course, he's going to address things immediately here, right, in his own way. But regardless of what happens there, that's going to go and get passed up the food chain.
Eventually.
Right?
Eventually. And the real key is deciding for Lennenkampf here how he wants to handle passing this up to his next person in the food chain here. Because it doesn't bode well for him if he passes it up under poor circumstances regarding how he's involved in it. Because then things could be bad for him.
Like this very much seems like the kind of a thing where you'd want to be like, immediately, here's the situation, pass it up the chain of command immediately, but also be like, I'm on the scene, I'm working to resolve it, here's the things that we're going to be doing.
Do you have any further orders for me?
Well, and also... You are now aware, so if there's any additional preparation you want to do, since this is an extreme situation, you can start doing that now while I'm still working on the scene.
And then I can be held blameless for any kind of time that takes before you guys become more directly involved. But Lennenkampf didn't do that. Not yet.
Yeah.
He immediately then went and ordered basically set level 1 throughout the, the forces that he has there, which apparently are just protecting Imperial interests, which means, for the first point here, he might not see this as a threat towards the nation as a whole, but as a group of dissidents. Now, the Rosenritter, I don't know how aware he is of what the Rosenritter are capable of, or who they even are.
I think he would be aware.
He would probably get a tactical.
He would have read the memo
of sorts. Yeah. But the thing that's still important is that even the Alliance military didn't fully realize what they were capable of until this. Which means that I don't think he knows how serious this is. It's serious enough that he responds seriously. But it might not be, in his mind, serious enough that he goes into
kind of serious.
I could be dead tomorrow kind of serious.
Yes, exactly.
So
that'll be interesting.
Wow, Yang had some great scenes in this episode.
Yep, they were fantastic. I loved the conversation with Rebello. That was really great because one of the things that I feel like can get really tough whenever you're wanting there to be sort of big questions being asked, especially by the main character, and one as smart as Yang, is that how do you make it so that the other side is also putting forth an argument that feels legitimate, right?
And smart. And
that feels smart, and that way they're conversing on equal playing fields, equal ground, even if it's something where in the end we agree with Yang, say, over Rebelo, right?
Yes.
Because the points that Rebelo was making of like, hey, I know this is something very similar to what the old Alliance, would have been just assuming, expecting you to do, right?
Look at the context, man.
Look at the context.
Yeah.
I'm in this situation. You are my only way out here, right? So, and not just my way out, but the Alliance's way out, right? Yeah. This is bad, right? So I know that what I'm asking of you is awful, but I'm still going to ask it of you. And one of the things I want to point out is that he was, I think, genuinely asking it of Yang.
Oh, yeah.
He was not actually, like, he wasn't the one who ended up giving the order to have Yang executed. That was after he got taken, right? Yeah. So I don't think he actually would have ended up doing it, right? No. But it was the, please, sir, I know you love your country. Well, okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay, maybe you don't exactly.
No,
maybe it's a bit more nuanced and complicated than that.
I think you care about the lives of the people here who are innocent in this, that will essentially have their whole world go up in flames.
And yet,
this is continue this way.
Right, and yet this is a nice repeat of the situation with Reinhard,
where
one person could be sacrificed for the sake of, the many, right? And yet Yang won't make that decision, right? He won't go against his principles, even if it means that things could get messy, right? His whole point to Frederica, I don't know if I made the right decision here.
Yeah.
She's like, but that's why I love you, right? So maybe it would have been better for humanity or whatever, but
we can't know that, really.
We can't know that, And so here we are.
Yeah, the future is uncertain. And while we have Shunkov, Attenborough, and Bagdash even, hell yeah, like the fact that Bagdash
come a long way from a cryo freeze,
trying to kill Yang from like all that time ago, and now is here being like the absolute legend, being like, all right, I recorded that convo and leaked it to the Imperial military. I hacked my way into the console office.
That was amazing. I loved that so much. Dude!
Look at this expertise here.
Oh
okay.
He dangerous. Like
this is a sci-fi rogue at play here.
Yep. And back, from a story that was, back in the 80s or whatever, where, hacking wasn't something that was such a big deal that it suddenly became a hell of a lot harder to do, right? So it's no. We're hacking to send a message, not hacking.
This is probably the 90s, though, by this point.
Though. Okay, but
most likely.
No, but not the anime, the original source material.
True.
But hacking into a computer, you send that message, you record the call. It's quick and dirty and simple, and I love it. Right? Like, nothing too complicated.
And it's a leak, so no one really knows who sent it or why they sent it, but they have to respond.
Regardless, like it's a video. Effective. The conversation is there. Like Rebelo hasn't shown up when he was supposed to, even though he already left. Like,
right. Yeah. I'm just saying that we don't know how the recording was formatted, though. It has nothing to do. It does
MP4 versus RAW, or
no, whether it was just audio or whether it was visuals. Or anything.
I suppose. I would assume. The whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it could have been OBS capture where he was just taking one half of the conversation, and just doing desktop audio and, the visuals put up
He
there.
could have even done it in a how-to thing where, he's got himself in a little box and he's like, all right, so this is how you do it. Hi, Imperials, so this is what happened. We just kidnapped him, giving commentary. Yeah, it could be great.
Yeah. Point being, though, that's now in Lennenkampf's hands, and Lennenkampf is responding in probably the by-the-book way, but we did not get any follow-up with him after he set the Grenadiers to be in defensive positions around the Imperial stuff that they have there. Okay. But Yang nearly died here.
Yeah.
And the only reason he didn't die is because of dumb luck.
Yeah, dumb luck and some quick thinking, because and the coordination of the two, because if there's the dumb luck of the fact that they happened to show up at that moment, right?
Yes.
But then there's the fact that if he hadn't talked to the guy, if he hadn't
basically, of course he's going to talk to the guy.
No, right. But in his traditional, very non-aggressive way, like the way you pointed out that once he sat down, the guy kind of relaxed, right? He let down his guard, even though Yang is physically not capable of actually resisting him, really, right?
No, not really.
Like he's not
It
a
would have been
fighter.
even dumber luck if he somehow threw the chair in the way.
Exactly,
And
right.
Like this guy was a full soldier, right?
Yeah,
here,
he's so defenseless. They didn't feel the need to send in 6 guys with rifles.
No.
You know, it's just one dude with a handgun, right?
Yeah, it was more of a dirty thing of quickly go kill him.
Exactly, right.
And it's whoever's the fastest there.
Yeah, just get
go
there.
do it.
Get someone that you know will actually do the deed, right? Because everyone respects Yang, and this was something I loved about it, right?
Yeah, when the 6 soldiers came with Rebello, and they were all like,
oh yeah, that
they
too.
were doing all those little looks and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
but just the idea that Yang is the hero, even the guy that ends up getting sent in to execute him is like, sir, please, like, don't tarnish your reputation and everything. You are the savior of our people.
Yeah, you already have great renown.
Yeah, exactly. This is something that needs to happen.
With grace.
I'm not proud of it. I'm gonna do it, but I'm not proud of it. Please just stop trying to resist. Let it happen. It'll make it faster, much easier for all of us, right?
Right. Yeah.
But Yang doesn't, right? And because of that, when he's about to die, he bought that extra, 30 seconds or minute or whatever that it took for Frederica to be able to come in and...
Yeah, the fact, though, that the chair falling over bit did seem like something where it wasn't entirely his conscious will.
Yeah, just sort of some instinctual, like, get away from
Reflex.
the thing that's going to kill me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because one of the things that I get the vibe of from Yang every once in a while is he questions whether or not all this is worth it. There's a lot of pain and suffering with regards to how he's been trying to do the right thing with regards for the Alliance and stuff. But the Alliance has done him very little favors. So when he thinks about, why he can't sacrifice himself, he only thinks of Frederica. I think the fact that he only thought of Frederica there can be seen as a very romantic thing, for one, which I think is the primary reason that he's like, I'm not going to abandon her like that. But I think it's also worth noting that he didn't think of Julian. He didn't think of other people.
Oh, okay.
It's the thing of where he's like, yeah, I've thought about quitting. Not like dying, quitting, but like basically being like...
I've tried to retire many times.
I've tried to retire many times. Maybe going out like a hero. I don't think he entirely threw that option out in his mind, just in the fact that he didn't really...
It was an emotional reason that caused him to stop, and it didn't have to do with his principles.
Yeah.
It was because of something much simpler.
Right, and that simplicity, I think, made it something where it then came down to, yeah, but I don't want to die.
Right.
And just the human response of, I'm about to get shot, I'm about to get killed, and then falls back in the chair. And he almost seemed a little bit shocked when he landed on the ground, like, did I do that? Like,
like he thought he might be shot right now and he would be bleeding out or something,
But yeah, like he kind of checked himself to be like, did I die there? Like, Yeah, like he falls over and he just kind of like looks at himself like, I'm alive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that I also really appreciate about this is that since it wasn't Yang's decision to be like, I want to live, right? He was thinking of Frederica, right? Not the whole thing of humanity, the Alliance, the masses or Julian or anybody like that.
Yeah.
That allows for potentially a different side of Yang to surface in the coming events, because this situation is the situation that has been foretold by many of the other characters in the show, right? The point where Yang basically is forced into a situation where he has to assume command, right?
Yeah.
He has to do the thing that is like a hot iron on his skin to him, right? He absolutely will not lead a movement. And he time and time again has had it offered to him, and nope, he pulls his hand away as fast as he can. Right?
He's a student of history. He knows what happens to a singular person that gets believed in and told to command a group.
Exactly. Even if the person themselves is actually maybe amazing, right? Yeah. The group as a whole, that's a whole other story, right?
Yeah.
And in this situation here, he's seen it already start. He knows that Shunkov's up to something, right? And
he saw the helicopters and everything going on. He's like, that's probably Shunkov. Hopefully he didn't go too far.
Right.
What he didn't say was, hopefully he didn't kill anyone. It was hopefully he didn't go too far, which is meaning he knows he's going to go far.
Yes. Right, it's the damage control at this point, right?
Yeah, measures, degrees of
And Shunkoff and Yang have had many conversations about this topic since
to the end.
The means to the end, right? Exactly, and they always disagree quite adamantly.
Yeah,
even if it's done civilly and
it's
everything.
Very civil.
It's very civil and very understanding of where the other person is coming from, while still strongly disagreeing. Right. Now it's in a situation where Yang's disagreements don't actually come into play. Shunkoff made the move, right? Now things are moving.
Well, Frederica.
Frederica
gave them a reason.
No, definitely,
being
right?
Like, hey, we're gonna rescue Yang. Let's go.
Yep,
and
exactly.
they're like, oh, hell yeah.
Right. But now it's in this situation because I don't think Yang is the kind of person, or was the kind of person back then, and potentially even still, where if he's in the situation where it's to save himself, where he would tell the people that are loyal to him, go and raise hell.
Yeah. I don't think he would do that.
I don't think he would do that. No. But now that the situation is already here, it's the... Well, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right? I have to just make sure that this goes in as good of a way as it can.
Yeah, and that was the argument I was using previously, to be like, he wouldn't chastise Shunkoff here for killing people. Maybe he would in the moment, but he wouldn't be like, okay, you're no longer in command.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, it's the thing of the... You did the thing that you knew I wouldn't like because I wasn't around,
And then he would be like, okay, take me to Merkatz as fast as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited to see how Yang behaves from here moving forward.
Sure.
Because he is now in a completely different environment. This is a different animal that he does not have experience dealing with from this perspective, right? So how he's going to actually guide this beast of chaos and revolution that has taken birth.
Yeah, take back the Iserland fortress. Like that's the thing that makes the most sense here. They left stuff there specifically,
and if they want to keep the Empire from being able to get back in here without going through Fejon again, the Iserland would be the way to do it.
Well, they have no problems going through Fejon.
No, I know, but that's at least a potential complication if Fejon rebels or things like that or whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Especially if they resist up front,
Right, but by them going to the Iserland fortress, what you're saying is then they basically could end up getting hey, we're going to delay the Imperials from getting actually to Alliance space while the Alliance military makes up its mind about whether or not it's going to join our group.
Right.
Because... this could just boil over into, all right, we're going all back into war again, but the Alliance is even in a worse position than it was before. We've disarmed a bunch, we've dismantled a whole bunch of ships, we've, or scuttled, I guess is the better word, and then, and then there's Imperials already here. So
right.
There's that. With all of this escalating here, and while the Rosenritters are a sufficient force right now, we still have two main opponents right now. Lennonkampf's small detachment of Imperial soldiers that he has here, which should be a formidable enough force against the Rosenritters, except for the fact that they said apparently the Rosenritters still have 1,000. I don't think that Lennonkampf's group is numbering actually 1,000. It probably has enough to handle 1,000 with their military gear, like their probably armored stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But the Alliance military is probably maybe 5 times the Rosenritter's size.
Right, and that's the thing, and I love how this show goes into this, is that an actual full occupation is not sustainable.
It's not.
It just doesn't work, right? No. Like, armies are expensive, and
it's better to have a few ships that you can call in from a base in Alliance space than it is to have a standing army there.
Right, and even better is to manipulate the people that are leading the enemy army in order to make them work for you,
They
right?
police the people for you,
Exactly. Yeah. But if it ever gets to the point where suddenly that isn't enough, you can't strong arm them anymore, whatever, you don't have the forces over there to actually handle the situation. True. Not really. You can handle key situations like, okay, we want to make sure that this territory, this building, whatever, is kept secure. Something like that, right? But you can't occupy all of Alliance space. No.
Yeah, but Lennonkampf does have his fleet nearby, right?
I believe so.
So while he can't just... do anything crazy, he could at the very least start imposing more draconian types of occupation stuff from space, and either have
at least Heinessen is under martial law or something until Reinhard decides what he wants done or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we still have the thing of where while Lennonkampf is doing this, the next few hours matter that much. If no communique is sent towards Imperial space or towards the equivalent, like with our boy Oberstein,
right?
How the Empire responds might just not be fast enough.
I want to assume that even if it's not shown, there's at least like a little button, or at some point he spoke a word to like a subordinate saying, relay what's going on, you know?
I'll go back through the stuff with Lennonkampf, but I believe his primary thing he said set level 1 for the Imperial Grenadiers. He has very specific protocol.
But yeah, it never showed him actually contacting anybody back home.
He was talking with an Alliance representative.
Basically saying, I'm going to come in and do this,
Right. I liked how he said, this is a bit weird, but he said, it seems Chairman Rebello has been kidnapped by some of Yang's subordinates. Then he goes, okay, return to the consul office, revise standby order, the Armored Grenadier Corps. Oh, if it's a corps, actually...
Yeah,
they did might be a lot more than 1,000. We'll see.
They did say the Rosenritter, though, even though there's only 1,000, they could probably still take a division, which I'm not entirely sure what that would be if 1,000 is left of a regiment. So I don't know what the sizes are.
Typically speaking, corps is larger than division, and division is at minimum 5,000.
Right, but normally regiment doesn't go above like 750 or 1,000 anyway.
No, regiment is around 1,000. That's why I was saying that it's the Rosenritter regiment.
Well, no, but they were saying that it had been reduced a lot.
No, they said they haven't gotten new recruits since the Battle of Vermilion. They've not been reduced.
Okay,
I can go back to that part.
I'm going under the assumption that there have been some casualties within the Rosenritter across the course of the war.
Yes, it's not exactly 1,000. But their point was that they number around 1,000 right now. I don't know what they were before, but they're still called the Rosenritter Regiment, and it doesn't have to be exact with regards to regiment. It just means it's not a division because it's not a 5,000
right
threshold.
Exactly.
So if he's got a corps of soldiers here, it might be something where he's also deploying troops from his ships, where he doesn't have all of them here.
That's a good point. That is a good point. And also he does have to. Now I don't think he would really have screwed up if this happened, but he does need to make sure that his ships don't somehow get captured or something. I don't think it would be very easy for that to happen.
I don't think it's going to be very possible for that to happen either.
Yeah. No.
I think if anything, they might be more worried about people in ships leaving, and heading out, getting away. Because if they get away, they can go to Mercats. Because they know that there are people out there that.
Sorry, I was talking about Lennonkampf's ships, not Alliance ships.
Yeah, I'm talking about Lennonkampf too. Meaning Lennonkampf's ships might be less in danger of getting captured, but more in danger of letting this problem leave the planet. Because if it leaves the planet, then they have to deal with the fact that there's rebels out there.
Gotcha. I thought you were saying that some of Lennonkampf's men would defect to Mercats.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, I was not saying that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I was saying, I found it funny that he was told that Rebella was captured, but he's like, I'd like to discuss the situation personally with Rebella herself. So that was him mocking them, being like, oh, but you don't know where he is.
Right.
So.
Oh, well, then just let me talk to Rebella. This will make everything fine. And they're like, well, see,
Gotcha. So he was mocking them.
Right. Because the info was leaked to them, they're trying to still pretend that, no, everything's fine here, sir. We're fine now. We're fine. How are you? And he's like, really?
Okay, cool. Then the next episode is probably where Lennonkampf's going to make his decision as to how to involve the rest of the Empire in this.
Right.
But okay, y'all, this is now getting crazy. The intensity is spiking, and I can't wait to watch the next episode. So if you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, we stream every weekday. The info's in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.